The Soviet strength secret: most men over 40 have never tried hook. 05. What if I told you that the exercise most people dismiss as doing nothing could actually become one of the smartest ways to build strength after 40? Introduction. For decades, we've been told the same thing. If you want more muscle, lift heavier weights. And when you're in your 20s, that advice often works. But your body doesn't stay 20 forever. After 40, recovery slows down. Tendons become less forgiving. Cartilage doesn't absorb stress the way it used to. And the joints, especially your knees, shoulders, and lower back, often become the limiting factor long before your muscles do. That's why so many men find themselves trapped in a frustrating cycle. They push harder to stay strong, only to end up battling sore joints, nagging injuries, and longer recovery times. But what if the problem isn't that you're training too little? What if you're using the wrong tool for the job? Back in the 1960s, Soviet sports scientists explored a different approach. Instead of relying only on heavier weights and endless repetitions, they spent years studying isometric training, producing maximum muscular tension without movement. At first glance, it almost looks too simple to be effective. No explosive reps, no fancy machines. Sometimes, you're just holding a position. Yet modern research continues to show that when performed with high effort, isometric training can improve strength, increase motor unit recruitment, and create a meaningful muscle-building stimulus, especially when combined with traditional resistance training. Here's our perspective. We don't believe isometrics are a replacement for lifting weights. But for adults over 40, they can become one of the most valuable tools you'll ever add to your training. They build strength while minimizing unnecessary joint movement. They improve body awareness, and perhaps most importantly, they teach your muscles to generate force exactly where your body needs it most. Let's start with one of the most underestimated exercises ever created. Exercise 1, wall sit. It looks easy. That's exactly why most people never take it seriously. Stand with your back flat against a wall. Slide down until your knees reach roughly 90 degrees and your thighs are almost parallel to the floor. Now, don't move. Within seconds, your quadriceps begin to burn, your glutes switch on, your hamstrings join the fight, and before long, your legs start shaking. Many people assume that shaking means weakness. In reality, it's often your nervous system recruiting more muscle fibers to maintain force as fatigue builds. That's exactly what you want. The biggest mistake? Raising your hips the moment the burn begins. The second you do that, tension leaves the muscles you're trying to train and shifts toward your joints instead. Stay patient, stay low, let your muscles do the work, not your knees. Start with 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds, then add about 5 seconds each week. No heavier weights, just more quality time under tension. Exercise 2, split squat iso. Now let's expose something most people never realize until they try unilateral training. Very few adults are equally strong on both sides. One leg almost always works harder than the other. The split squat iso makes those imbalances impossible to hide. Step into a split stance. Lower yourself until your back knee hovers just above the floor. Then simply hold. Keep your front shin nearly vertical. Keep both hips facing forward. And resist the urge to lean or twist as fatigue sets in. This isn't just a leg exercise, it's a movement quality assessment. If one side gives up 15 seconds before the other, your body is sending you valuable information. Don't ignore it. Instead of chasing heavier squats, fix the imbalance first. Because long-term strength isn't built by adding more weight to a dysfunctional movement. It's built by creating stability before intensity. And in the next section, we'll move to the upper body, where one surprisingly simple hold can improve shoulder stability, grip strength, posture, and even help decompress a spine that's spent years sitting behind a desk. If your legs are the foundation of movement, your shoulders and core are the foundation of everything else. And after the age of 40, that's exactly where most people begin to lose function without even realizing it. Rounded shoulders, a stiff neck, a weaker grip, lower back discomfort that seems to appear out of nowhere. Most people blame aging. But aging isn't always the real problem. In many cases, it's years of poor movement habits that slowly teach your nervous system to stop using certain muscles efficiently. That's where our next exercise comes in. Exercise 3, active dead hang. At first glance, hanging from a pull-up bar doesn't seem like much of a workout, but there's a huge difference between simply hanging and hanging with intention. Grab the bar with your hands about shoulder width apart. Before allowing your full body weight to settle, gently pull your shoulder blades down and slightly back. Imagine sliding them toward your back pockets. That small adjustment completely changes the exercise. Instead of letting your shoulder joints absorb most of the load, you're asking the muscles around the shoulder, your lats, lower traps, and stabilizers, to create a strong, stable position. That's an important distinction. Healthy joints don't become resilient because they're loaded endlessly. They become resilient because the muscles surrounding them learn to share the workload. One benefit people often notice is a temporary feeling of relief through the upper back and spine after hanging. But in our opinion, that's only part of the story. The real value of the active dead hang is neurological. You're retraining muscles that have been underused after years of sitting, driving, or working at a desk. As those muscles wake up, posture improves naturally. Grip strength increases. Shoulder control becomes more confident, and everyday movements begin to feel easier. Start with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds. The moment your shoulders creep toward your ears, end the set. Quality always beats duration. Exercise 4, plank hip extension. Now let's move to a muscle group that's surprisingly powerful, yet often forgotten. Your glutes. Here's something many people don't realize. Weak glutes and inactive glutes are not the same thing. A muscle can be strong enough to produce force, yet your brain may fail to recruit it efficiently during movement. This phenomenon is often described as reduced neuromuscular activation. When that happens, your lower back and hamstrings begin compensating for work your glutes were designed to do. Over time, that compensation can contribute to stiffness, poor movement mechanics, and unnecessary stress on the spine. The plank hip extension hold helps reverse that pattern. Start in a forearm plank. Brace your core. Then slowly lift one leg while keeping your hips perfectly level. Don't worry about raising it high. Focus on keeping everything else perfectly still. If your hips rotate, your lower back arches, or you lose control, reset and try again. Precision matters far more than height. Here's our perspective. Many people think exercise is only about building bigger muscles. We see it differently. Great training also teaches your brain how to coordinate those muscles more efficiently. That's one reason isometric exercises deserve far more attention than they usually receive. They're not just strengthening tissue, they're refining communication between your brain and your body. And once that connection improves, every squat, every lift, and even everyday activities can become smoother, stronger, and safer. In the final part, we'll complete the system with 2 upper body holds that restore balance between pushing and pulling muscles. Then combine all 6 exercises into a simple 20-minute weekly routine designed specifically for long-term strength, healthier joints, and better movement after 4D. By now, you've trained your legs, reactivated your core, and improved the connection between your brain and your muscles. But there's still one piece missing: balance. Because strength isn't just about pushing harder, it's about making sure every muscle has another muscle working with it. And that's exactly where the final 2 exercises come in. Exercise 5, pike push-up iso. Most pressing exercises train movement. This one trains control. Start in an inverted V position with your hands about shoulder width apart. Slowly lower your head halfway toward the floor and simply hold. It sounds easy. It isn't. This position places your shoulders, triceps, and upper back under continuous tension at one of the most demanding points of the movement. Unlike traditional pressing, there's no momentum to help you. Your muscles have to produce force every second. One mistake we see all the time is letting the elbows flare out too wide. When that happens, the shoulder joint absorbs more stress while the muscles do less of the work. Instead, keep your elbows tracking naturally backward and continue breathing throughout the hold. Never sacrifice your breathing just to stay in position longer. From our perspective, this exercise teaches something that's often overlooked in strength training. The strongest athletes aren't simply the ones who can create force, they're the ones who can control force. And control is what keeps your shoulders healthy for decades, not just for your next workout. Exercise 6, Towel row ISO. Every pushing movement should have a pulling movement to balance it. Unfortunately, modern life does the opposite. Hours spent typing, driving, and looking at screens constantly pull our shoulders forward. Over time, the muscles responsible for good posture become weaker, while the muscles in the front of the body grow tighter. The towel row ISO helps reverse that trend. Wrap a sturdy towel around a secure anchor. Lean back slightly until there's tension. Then pull your elbows behind your body and hold the contraction. Don't think about pulling with your hands. Think about driving your elbows backward while gently squeezing your shoulder blades together. Imagine trying to hold a pencil between them. That single cue shifts the workload away from your arms and into the muscles that actually improve posture. It's a simple adjustment, but one that can completely change how the exercise feels. Your 20-minute weekly blueprint. Now let's put everything together. 3 sessions per week is all you need. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Perform the 6 exercises in this order: wall sit, split squat ISO, active dead hang, plank hip extension hold, pike push-up ISO, towel row ISO. Complete 3 sets of each exercise with about 60 seconds of rest before moving to the next one. During your first week, focus entirely on perfect technique. Forget about chasing longer hold times. Master the position first, then gradually add around 5 seconds each week. That's progressive overload, without constantly adding heavier weights. The biggest mistakes to avoid. The first mistake is confusing discomfort with danger. Your muscles should work hard. Your joints shouldn't hurt. Learn the difference. The second mistake is rushing progression. Your muscles often adapt faster than your tendons and connective tissues. Give your body time to catch up. And finally, don't think of isometrics as a replacement for every other form of training. Think of them as another tool. In our opinion, the healthiest athletes aren't the ones who only lift heavy. They're the ones who know when to lift, when to move, when to recover, and when to stay perfectly still. Because sometimes standing still under control builds a stronger body than moving endlessly without purpose. If you found this video helpful, take 1 second to hit the like button. It really helps more people discover evidence-based fitness content like this. Share this video with someone who's been struggling with sore knees, stiff shoulders, or nagging back pain after 40. And if you're serious about building strength that lasts for decades, not just the next few months, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we break down the science of strength, mobility, and healthy aging into practical strategies you can actually use. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.